Hey, welcome everybody to our webinar today. Thank you for joining us. We've got a fun one planned for everybody here. We're with the ESOFT team and then a special guest, Kevin Rhatican. We're very excited about the webinar today to talk about how we can streamline the workflow and enhance the efficiency with the partnership between HDPhotoHub and ESOFT. Anthony, I'm going to kick it over to you, let you introduce a little bit and send it around the table.
I would absolutely love to. I'm super pumped to be here with all you lovely people, some great guest speakers today. And it is an exciting topic for a lot of photography businesses around the world in terms of how to streamline your workflow, how to make things easier and to enhance efficiency in your business so you can focus on the real important things and leave the admin to the people who can do it best and save you some time and headaches. And on that note, why don't we kick through to introducing some of the speakers we have here tonight. So my name's Anthony and I head up the product and innovation team at ESOFT. And what that means is that I'm working hard to make sure that we bring the best possible products to play for our clients around the world. And so that people that also use HDPhotoHub can access these great quality products. We've also got Mikki on the call. Mikki, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So, hi everyone. I'm Mikki. I'm the business development supervisor at ESOFT. So, for those who have not heard of ESOFT, so we are a Danish-owned real estate visualization company. We offer post-production services to our client all over the world, and our solution range from photo editing, full-plan video editing to different 3D solutions. And it's my pleasure to be here with Ian, Kevin, and Anthony.
Ian Kautzman, the COO at HDPhotoHub. For those that may not know HDPhotoHub, we kind of help all things real estate photography related. So when your technology needs being able to do online ordering, being able to deliver the media back to your clients, those are our sweet spots. And then we're the HDPhotoHub piece because we integrate with many of the tools that you're already using to make sure that your processes and workflows are streamlined, which is very much what we're talking about today. With a highlight on our partnership with ESOFT. So we're excited for it.
My name's Kevin. I'm one of the owners at Shutterhouse Tours. We're based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've got a team of about 15 photographers. We've got some full-time admin support. We are in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and Wichita, and looking to expand to a couple other markets by the end of the year. So I've been with HDPhotoHub, for probably about 5 years now. And then I've been with ESOFT. We made the transition to ESOFT this year, I believe. It was this year, right, Mikki? Yeah, earlier this year.
We talked last year. We started our conversation last year.
Yeah. So been with ESOFT for a while now, and a big believer in both. So yeah.
Can't wait to hear more from you, Kevin, on the experiences that you've had. We've got an action-packed agenda for this webinar series today. I'm your host, and so I'm going to walk everyone through what are the key things we're going to cover today. The first is some of the common challenges we have in workflow, and that includes when we're submitting orders and how that works and what are some of the issues that HDPhotoHub and ESOFT can solve for you and your business. We're also going to look at what happens when the orders are processed. How does that work and how does that fit together in terms of the HDPhotoHub and ESOFT relationship and partnership. And we're also going to look at the delivery. So how do you get those back and how does that work? And what are the solutions in place from HDPhotoHub and ESOFT to help you and your photography business to handle that? And then we're going to have a wrap up at the end just to bring together all of the topics that we've covered and to highlight for everyone out there some of the key benefits you can have by partnering with HDPhotoHub and ESOFT to streamline your business and make it more efficient. And on that note, why don't we kick off proper and let's start talking about order creation. Kevin, I think you're probably the best person to open up and maybe share some of the most common workflow issues that companies like yourself may have in terms of setting up and making sure you're putting those orders through.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the operations that go around real estate photography can be chaotic. I mean, it's a very fast-moving industry. Clients need what they need. They need it yesterday. They need it 5 minutes ago. So before a shoot gets even happening, it's difficult sometimes, especially once you get past your first couple of shoots. Your phone's ringing while you're at a shoot, and I've definitely had this experience. I think that a lot of people in this industry have. you don't get that phone call and you call them back 10 or 15 minutes later and it seems reasonable, but they've already moved on to somebody else, so you've lost business. So just having a responsive opportunity for clients to be online and scheduling things online when they need to schedule it, having it clearly laid out what you offer, and having the ability to even suggestive sell and upsell through that online ordering experience so that they can make sure they're getting the right thing for the right property and that they are also taking advantage of everything that you offer. It's been incredible. That's a huge upside to be in with HDPhotoHub. But if I can go beyond that, we're kind of talking about operations and like, hey, what is happening around your business besides having a camera in your hand relating to clients? The problem doesn't just really exist on how do I get orders taken, but how do I get them delivered, which obviously HDPhotoHub has a great solution for. But then there's that middle piece, which is kind of what we're talking about, with ESOFT and HDPhotoHub and our company is, okay, so HDPhotoHub takes care of us getting our sales taken care of and orders placed, and how do we deliver things once we have it. But that never took care of the challenge really of how do I make sure that my work looks as good as possible, and how do I have a good relationship with an editor. So it's very common with the people that I network with that you're changing editors every 3 months, 6 months, something like that, because things will start off well and then there's hiccups and companies can't scale with you. So when you guys announced the partnership between ESOFT and HDPhotoHub, I was like, hey, this is great. We've been struggling in this area. Anyways, we were using the Dropbox integration, which worked great for a while. It allows us to change out editing companies when things went awry. But the integration with ESOFT is really just, it's that on steroids. And then you guys are able to scale with us as well too. So overall, the challenge is, if you're going to take real estate photography seriously, is having partners that can scale with you, that can accommodate your way of doing things, that isn't a one size fits all. And then, nothing's ever perfect, right? Like technology hiccups happen, things do happen. So having partnerships that you can have actual genuine conversations with, not just, standby or, hey, that will never happen again, because mistakes are going to happen, but having partners that allow you to scale, accommodate your own personal brand goals, but then also communicate when things need to, go better, I guess.
Let's talk a little bit about scale, just kind of while we're touching on that topic, right? So as you had mentioned earlier, you'd been using our platform for quite a while, and you went through a transition in the business where you scaled up your number of shoots pretty dramatically, right, through partnering up with another company.
Yep.
And when you did that, right, like you're ordering and being able to manage the workflow of who's doing what shoots and being able to manage your schedule through the HDPhotoHub platform, obviously, very helpful in that transition. But as you mentioned, you had been using the Dropbox integration and kind of using different editors along the way, and then kind of got introduced into ESOFT and met. Tell me more about their ability to kind of bring in the editing process into one system, as opposed to being kind of all spread out throughout as you went through kind of that big scale transition, and being like, this is really crazy and I'm trying to work with too many different people and nobody can scale to my level. Talk about how ESOFT helps solve that problem.
Well, let me tell you a nightmare that happens, right? Like something that I have believed that has proven true is that, if you're having problems, okay, let's set a threshold here just for the sake of conversation. If you're doing like 50 shoots a month, right? Like you've achieved something, you've got a business, you've got something that you're working with. But any little hiccups that you have, like if you have a goal of growing beyond that point, any frustrations that you have are just going to get magnified when you scale up. We merged with a competitor, and the business volume that we were running through our process basically tripled overnight. Okay. So we had an editing partner in place that, color accuracy was sometimes an issue. Well, now it's an issue on 3 projects every single day, what I'm saying, or 4 projects every single day, because they're having trouble scaling. And there is an issue there, and it was magnified. We also had the frustrations of, we had one company for our photos. That company we thought was doing an okay job, but we could never quite get the virtual sunsets the way that we wanted them to. We were really passionate about how that looked. We had some specific goals and they couldn't accommodate those. So we were having our photos edited through one place, our virtual sunsets edited through another place. And neither one of those solutions could keep us on budget and quality with video. So then we had another person that we were using for video editing. So, we're doing 15, 20 projects a day, out of the gate with this merger. And now it's like, okay, well, wait a minute, guys. Now you have this process for this thing and this process for that thing. And it's just an absolute rat's nest of a nightmare trying to communicate all that. And then, we have all the shoots that we're going on today, and then we're going on shoots tomorrow. And now we have all of these hiccups in our workflow that are just bogging us down day after day. Does that make sense? Like, I think that's the nightmare that we were in. When we switched to ESOFT, I really compliment you guys on your onboarding process. It took longer to onboard with you guys than I had ever experienced before. But I mean, that has actually inspired me in the way that I onboard large clients at this point, because there was a responsibility to it. Like, we got the photos figured out, and then we got other things figured out. But man, like, now being at the point where, when we got to the point where we were doing everything through you guys, our videos, our virtual sunsets, our photo editing, everything, it was just so nice, man. Like, we had one point of contact. Like, even if we're talking about the old system of every photographer emailing an editor at the end of their day, which that was a nightmare, and I'm glad to be done with that too. But even if it was just having one person to talk to about everything, that was a huge upgrade for us, let alone like the ordering process that you guys provide through ESOFT. So yeah.
I was just going to say, it's always good to hear success stories, and where at ESOFT we've been able to help businesses focus on what's most important and take them away from some of these pain points. And I think it's probably a good point for us to kick into gear and talk a little bit about the order processing. And maybe I can throw to you, Mikki, and ask you to kind of talk a little bit about what happens after an order is submitted through HDPhotoHub. What happens next? Can you explain for everyone out there how that works, and how ESOFT and HDPhotoHub have linked in together to help people?
Yes, certainly, Anthony. So why our friends here at HDPhotoHub, they support our share clients with scheduling and delivery. So ESOP will jump in the middle of the flow to handle all post-production work, like Kevin mentioned. So photo editing, virtual sunsets, video editings, etc. So we handle everything from basic editing to more complex enhancements. And we also have a in-house developed system to allow our client to upload and download materials with high-speed internet from anywhere in the world. And it can also act as a central line order management for our customer with a visual tool to support any correction, any adjustment, because usually that's the part that come with a lot of complication due to language barriers. And in addition, we also have a large team of well-trained editors and quality control staff. That's why we are able to process over 80,000 images per day with a pretty rapid turnaround time.
And Kevin, we often hear from new clients that they've had issues with uploads and downloads, especially where, as you mentioned earlier, where their business, you're scaling, or it's high season, or there's a lot of properties coming on the market all at once. And we know that it's critical to make sure that the uploads and the downloads are working perfectly. Can you tell us a little bit about that and your business, and how maybe that's impacted your day-to-day operations in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to it is a competitive advantage to be able to schedule quickly, to be available quickly, and to be able to deliver quickly. Like, that's a competitive advantage. If you're saying, hey, I'm going to go on a shoot today and I'll have it to you within a week, like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to work in this industry. So how quickly can you guarantee that your stuff is going to be where it's supposed to be every single time is a competitive conversation for businesses in the industry. And when we were bouncing around between different editing companies, we had the Dropbox solution for our photo editing, but it would be weird to also have that same exact folder being used by another company. That could cause problems. So our photos were coming through the Dropbox solution. I'll talk about that in a minute. But then our videos were getting emailed to us, and did they get the email to the right person? Did they include the admin on the email? Same thing with the virtual sunset. So now we have all these different ways that things are getting delivered and then having to put them in. That was a problem, and it's no longer a problem with the way that we're integrated with you guys. But even the Dropbox integration, which worked great sometimes, depending on who your editor was and depending on what their internet speed was and stuff like that, things could be delivered in a really weird way. And HDPhotoHub created a good solution for that to help like bridge the gap of what that problem became. But man, like the Y'all's platform and the way that it integrates and uploads things, man, like it's been like batting 1,000. Things are where they're supposed to be. They're in the order they're supposed to be at. So there is no challenge of where is this coming from? Let me download it. Let me, it just is all in one. It's everything it should be, right? So that's kind of how that impacted our daily upload and download. I mean, we don't have to worry about that anymore, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like you've got peace of mind now.
Yeah, it is peace of mind, which is a big thing. I don't go out on mini shoots anymore, but there was a season where even after we had integrated with you guys, I went out on shoots and I was like, oh wow, okay. In our business, our photographers were still doing a final step QC and hitting the delivery button, making sure everything was in place and hitting the delivery button. That is not great because sometimes things are getting delivered at 8:30 in the morning, and sometimes a client needs us on site at 8:15 or 8:30. So photographers were going out, and I got to experience this firsthand, and we were able to actually do some things with our company because things were finally reliable, and that peace of mind that you mentioned, like it was predictable, right, and reliable and consistent. So we were actually even able to take that piece off from our photographers to where they're not having to worry about that, and delegate that to our admin team. And I've been able to delegate a lot more of, the whirlwind of the business to the people that are on my team that are actually there to do that because it's predictable. So yeah, I mean, it allows us to scale. It allows the photographers to go out. Like when photographers go out, they should not be knocking on a front door, also worrying about were photos delivered for that project yesterday. Like when we knock on the door as a photographer, we need to be fully present, fully engaged, ready to be, a representation of the brand that we've created. And like, I can't say enough, like how much the integration has helped us be able to have people focusing on the right things. So.
Yeah, I'll just add in there, Anthony, that what Kevin said there is very consistent across, the our mutual customers, the other companies that we work with that are using ESOFT. They speak to how great the upload speeds are when they're delivering their raw images over to you guys, how consistent the results are when they're coming back, how much they've been able to scale down their QA process from the number of re-edits that they're having to request compared to the companies that they're using before. I mean, that's really from our perspective. Why are we going further with the partnership? Why do we keep enhancing what we're doing with ESOFT? And it's really because that feedback from our customers is consistent in how much it's helping improve the business of the companies that are using us, just like what Kevin just described.
Let me jump into like I think it's really important just to be authentic. Like when we're talking about these things, nothing is ever perfect, right? Things happen.
Yep.
One thing that I really appreciate about our partnership, and I've not even talked to you guys about this, but whenever something doesn't go right, you guys know it before we do. Like there's an email in the inbox saying, hey, we got 17 of the 19 projects done. This project, project number 18 and 19 will be done in the next 25 minutes. Like when my deadline hits, if there's ever any reason that things, I mean, like we can track it back and sometimes, find out that, hey, the photographer didn't upload till 12 o'clock in the morning, and that doesn't set you guys up well. But anytime that we're off, no matter what the reason is of an objective, you guys are lean in proactively and let us know what's going on. We don't have to chase you guys down. And that's just not how it's been previously. Previously, you don't know that there's a problem with something, as a photographer until 10 o'clock in the morning. And then you're trying to get a hold of somebody and they're done for the day. Yeah, being proactive, even when things aren't 100% perfect, and things have been like, I mean, like we're having a high success rate, but it's also adds to the peace of mind that if something's not, total perfection, that you guys know it before we even do.
Yeah, I think the round-the-clock support and editing really makes a big difference because it doesn't really matter what time your photographers are uploading. We've kind of got you covered with that. And I think it's a big benefit for most of our clients in the way that they operate, and especially if they're across multiple time zones and lots of things going on. And if the photographers are largely independent and working on their own as well, it makes a big difference. But just kicking on, in terms of our agenda for this session, I think an important part for us to cover is in terms of the delivery phase, and I'm going to throw to you, Ian. we can see that a lot of companies will struggle with transferring large volumes of images across multiple different platforms and software. And it would be great if you can expand a little bit on some of the issues you've seen clients facing in the past, and maybe how that's been overcome and how their businesses have benefited.
Yeah, it goes from not only getting the images back from their editing company and then into however they're going to deliver it back to their clients, right? Like that's a piece all on its own. Our integration covers very seamlessly with ESOFT. But one of the things that always stands out to us is at that moment when you should be highlighting your brand the most as a photography company, and when you should be, the proudest moment of you're sending back that final work that turned out great. You spent, you put your passion into capturing the right shots when you're on site. You work with a great editing company like ESOFT to make sure everything turns out looking beautiful, and now you send it back. Like if you're just sending through Dropbox or sending through a generic file share piece, you're missing like an opportunity to really shine your brand along with the great product that you delivered back. Like it pains me to think about photography companies that are doing that don't put that out. So that's probably the highest piece that's on my mind of when you're delivering back to a company, being able to make sure that it's branded and white labeled to your business, so that they're seeing that great quality along with your brand, and making that subliminal connection there is super important. So that's something that we definitely want to highlight. Our system is all white labeled to the photography brand. It isn't branded HDPhotoHub anywhere in there. It's all about the brand of the company that all about your business as the real estate photography company. Also, right, I mean, we know it's real estate photography, so obviously your clients are real estate agents or real estate brokerages, and the technical ability in that industry really ranges quite a bit, right? Some are very savvy and they're great and they're hitting and they're often very good producing agents, and then you've got sort of the other side of the spectrum too, where you've got great agents who are awesome at what they do, and maybe they struggle a bit with technology, and maybe they haven't taken the leap yet to hire an assistant to help them with that kind of stuff. Our platform understands that, and we know that there's not everybody's tech savvy, and we make the platform really easy to use. So aside from just being able to download zip files, they can also download individual files if they find that easier for them, for the agents that struggle with zip files. It's also right, like the platform was created specifically for real estate photography businesses. And so that page is really geared directly to real estate agents and their needs. They're going to have the ability to download the original size images if they're doing something like print, where they really need those. But it's also going to set them up and be very clearly labeled for them to be able to download the MLS sizes if that makes sense for their use case. And it's just a different button, right? So if they're clicking to download the originals, now they're just clicking to download the MLS option, which just keeps it streamlined and helps the simplicity for the agents, so that they're not having to call the photography business and say, hey, you get to be my tech support today because I don't remember how to use a computer today, or how the heck do I unzip a zip file? You can say, hey, guess what? You can actually just download the files one at a time. No big deal. Let me show you how to do that. And the other piece with that is we understand all of the pieces that are getting delivered back, right? It's not just photos, especially these days. There's so much more media that goes into that. So when it comes to delivering back video, or just links to video, or delivering back floor plans, or delivering external, like embeddable URLs, like maybe you captured something in 3D and you've got a URL, but it's not really a file that they're going to download. All of those are housed on one page to keep it really simple for the agents, so that when you have a one-click option inside the platform to be able to send that email to your client to say, hey, your photos are ready, or your media is ready, and now they go and hit that delivery page and everything's all there in one spot for them. It isn't like, say, the old days of, hey, your photos are in this link over here, and hey, make sure to copy this URL over here, and oh, and your video's over here. It's really much more streamlined in one spot, and a spot where they can go back and visit at any time, right? So you may send it to them, and it maybe 3 months through the project, and they go, gosh, I really want to go and promote that house again. I need to go and grab those images. Where are they? They're not having to dig back through their email to look for special Dropbox links or anything like that. They can go and log into a portal and go and search all the different properties that they've worked with your company on and be able to grab that media to continue to promote that. And also the copyright is something else that's I know important to many companies out there. As soon as they hit that download page, you have the option to configure the ability to have your copyright license displayed right away. And so that they can read it and they have to click to accept it. That gets logged on the where the the internet address that they accepted that from, so that you at least have a record that they acknowledge that they saw your copyright and they understand like, hey, I can use these listings or these images during the life of the listing or whatever your policy is. It's really great. Kevin, do you want to elaborate on anything? What pieces did I miss there that's great through the delivery process?
Man, you nailed it. There are definitely the thing that you said the most that resonated with me was the delivery experience, right? When you knock on the front door and you walk into the listing, there's an experience there, and that's part of your brand, and the quality that's associated that you deliver is part of your brand, but how you deliver is also part of it. We have definitely seen competitors that deliver through Dropbox, and they'll deliver, video one way and then photos another way, and it's all scattered throughout. And you alluded to it. I think you were pretty generous when you talk about the clients that we serve in real estate. I mean, most of them, if like from my experience, most of them are not tech savvy. Most of them have so many other things going on that they don't need another system to learn, and they don't need to be looking for 5 different emails. So to have it all in one place is a huge advantage for us on serving them and understanding how to use things. I have converted plenty of clients that were paying $75 for photos, and somebody was delivering on Dropbox. And like when I do the numbers, it's like, yeah, they're being profitable as a photographer. Like I understand that like they're looking at their profitability factor and they're like, hey, this is great. I'm making plenty of money. Those clients are willing to double or triple what they're paying because of how we deliver. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the quality that we deliver with, which is definitely different. But unfortunately, like as much of a purist as I want to be about the operations and the way the images turn out, they're not worried as much about the beautiful images that we deliver as they are in like, hey, there's a huge upgrade here in the usability factor, the user friendliness of it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So like, yeah, our images are like killing it, but we're converting clients to spend triple of what they were used to because we're not delivering on Dropbox and not delivering on Google Drive. So yeah, how you deliver is 100% part of your brand. It's 100% part of your value, and people are willing to pay more for that because they feel good about it when they see it.
And the convenience, right? When they can book online and
100%.
just pick their schedule as they're rolling through, and now they get everything back on one page. It just really feels like your company knows what they're doing and is doing things right, and it makes such a huge difference. Another piece that I didn't mention, I don't know if you use this or not, Kevin. I hope that you do, or at least that you've experimented with it a little bit. You mentioned the consistency of ESOFT coming back and the timing of how great it is, right? Like you can really rely on, okay, my photos are going to be back by the time that they promised, and now I know that I'm going to turn around and be able to deliver that out to the clients. Something that's really cool that enables that we kind of can highlight through our system. I know there's companies out there that charge a rush fee for being able to get images back to their customers sooner than kind of what their normal standard turnaround time is. ESOFT's so great that often you have those images back that would like make it inside of that rush fee easily anyways. So I've seen a lot of companies utilize the delivery aspect of our platform to be able to schedule their delivery email. So rather than when they click to go and send it right away, they actually schedule it out to a set time of day. So they'll say, hey, I always deliver my images back at, I don't know, let's say 11 a.m., the following day of your shoot. But if you need a rush, let me know and we can get it back at 9 a.m. or we can get it back at whatever time makes sense. But that way you can also set up that consistency piece that Kevin's talking about for how great ESOFT is. You can set that up for your clients too and say, hey, this is what time, and they can just expect it and they're going to get it in their inbox, right at 11 a.m. when you scheduled it to go out, and get the text message that goes along with that delivery saying, hey, your images are ready now. And it gives you the opportunity to set up a rush fee or a rush project to be able to expedite that a little bit faster in those cases where they're really feeling the pressure and under the gun with a new client that they're working with. So Yeah, I just wanted to throw out, plug HDPhotoHub's
No, you're
awesome
good.
delivery, one more piece.
You're good. So where we're at now as a company in 3 different markets and all the photographers and full-time admin team, like there's a lot of people that I network with that cannot relate to that. Like, so let me rewind the clock a little bit to when it was like 2 or 3 of us going out, right? And there was nobody sitting there doing that. I relied on that feature so heavily of the, schedule send on the email and text message. But that came back to burn us so many times because our editing partner was not reliable. Our editing partner was not consistent with things. I would schedule send things because I'm like, hey, it's all going to be there, right? But you schedule send something and the virtual twilight's not there, or like only half the photos of the house uploaded, and now you've got a disaster because your client thinks that you sent that. Your client thinks that you were like, hey, everything's good to go, right? We're actually looking at maybe reincorporating that now through our partnership with ESOFT because we can do that. So like, yes, that is a phenomenal feature, but you absolutely have to be locked in with your editing team to make sure that you can do that. And ESOFT is the first time that I've had this at scale when it was, to where I have any confidence in doing that. Is a phenomenal feature. I love it.
I think for anyone out there, it's hard to describe, but having that combination of an intuitive setup where you've got everything in the one place and where you can be confident that no matter what volume you put through, you're going to get those deliveries and you're going to get them on time. It really does take away all the pain and all the hassle from your business. You're not chasing things up. You're not having to worry about stuff. It just works. And I think that's one of the key things about what makes the setup between ESOFT, HDPhotoHub work really well. And on that note, I do want to bring Mikki into the conversation a little bit because I know she's got a lot of experience in bringing clients on board in partnership with both HDPhotoHub and ESOFT. And she's seen a lot of how that can really transform a business and really take them to the next level and achieve growth that otherwise they probably wouldn't have been able to get to. Mikki, are you able to tell us a little bit more about some of the experiences some of the ESOFT clients that you brought on board have had and what difference that's made for them?
So, about the integration between ESOFT and HDPhotoHub, the feedback that I heard from our mutual clients are that the onboarding process is actually very easy and seamless with the support from HDPhotoHub team and the account management team of ESOFT. So, all you need to do is to obtain the client unique IDs and API key from ESOFT side, ESOFT tech team, and then going to HDPhotoHub side, enter those onto the fields in HDPhotoHub, and voila, the integration is good to go. And that will create a smooth automation flow between the two platforms. So like Kevin's and Ian's have briefly mentioned, it's going to be automatic access input flow from HDPhotoHub to ESOFT, and then when we finish the work, it's going to automatically push all the finished photo, full plan, video back to HDPhotoHub and ready to deliver to the agent.
Yeah, I love something that I want to mention if from sort of like a detail aspect, and maybe Kevin, you can talk about this on how it's helpful from a scale aspect, right? As you get more and more shoots and as you grow your offerings, is part of that integration does allow you to create, as Mikki mentioned, the orders directly from the HDPhotoHub order, right? So your client's now ordered, and now you have all the logistic piece inside of the HDPhotoHub platform. There's a button there for you to click and press that will allow the order to then get initiated inside of ESOFT. And one of the things that you can do is configure which editing products are actually pair with what products your clients are ordering to be able to keep that streamlined, right? So you're not relying on your photographer or your admin team to be 100% perfect all the time when they're putting those orders in. Rather, it's going to be ready and kind of preset on a default, being able to create that order and tied to specific products. So if you do want to offer more premium products that come with more premium editing options, even when you have, hundreds and thousands of orders per month, it keeps it just easy to be able to manage from the admin side.
Yeah, when I was rolling this out, this integration out to our photography team, there have been plenty of pain points of, opening up an email. What do we call this product? What do we call that product? When you're working with 3 different people, good luck getting everybody to word things exactly the same, let alone when you get 5 people or 10 people all ordering different things, What I told our photography team, and it is 100% true, is what HDPhotoHub is to our clients, how it makes ordering easy for our clients. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're going to get. They know where it's at. They get used to clicking the buttons. They don't have to worry about communicating, different things. They're getting exactly what they want, and it's super transparent, super easy, and it's even like kind of fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's rewarding. It's fun. What HDPhotoHub is for us and our brand to our clients, ESOFT is that for our photography team. Like it's the ease of ordering and the streamline and the predictability and all of that. How do I put in this note? What do I say about this? We've not even talked about this yet, but once you upload the photos, if there's like, I mean, I've gone to plenty of shoots where there's like a little hole in a wall, for some reason, and maybe behind the door or something, I don't know, where the TV was. And the realtor says, hey, can you Photoshop that out? Of course, everything can be Photoshopped now, right? Like whatever. But how do you communicate that really, really well to an editing team that wasn't on site? With the ESOFT platform, I can actually go in on that raw image. I use Canon because I'm a good photographer. We can use the .cr3 file type. I don't have to upload a JPEG. I can upload that, and in the ESOFT system, I can draw an arrow and say, Photoshop this. And I know that some purists out there right now are saying, why didn't you clone stamp it before you sent it? Yeah, I can do that too. But if there's something major, like, hey, take this thing out, like, you guys have such a good system of being able to communicate that type of stuff. I've never seen that, especially with the speed that we work with in real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that feedback consistently from the companies that are working with ESOFT on just how great that piece is, and the communication and the ease of ordering. And
it's convenient,
100%.
right? It's about the convenience.
Right. I think Kevin really sums it up well there when he says, ESOFT is to his photography business like HDPhotoHub is to like his client-facing piece for him. Very well said.
We've talked about in terms of your photography business, how does the order creation process flow work? How can that be a benefit? We've talked about the processing and then the delivery, and how really you can streamline your business by working with both HDPhotoHub and ESOFT, and how that integration really has been seamless, and the onboarding process super thorough, and really helping our clients and in particular, on the call today, Kevin, who shared his experiences as well. Really, when we sum up where we're at in terms of the content we've covered, you can kind of tell that what this means in terms of a solution is something that is easy for anyone to use, no matter their tech proficiency. And we know that in the industry, not everyone is super technical. We know that for volume, you can be confident on no matter what you're putting through, both HDPhotoHub and ESOFT have got you covered. And I guess you can have that confidence. And the real outcome is that for your photography business, you're going to be able to save money on your admin overhead. You're not going to need as much support. You're not going to be doing a lot of the legwork to chase people up and to get things across the line. And at the end of the day, what that means is that if for your photography business, you're going to be saving money, you're going to have happier clients, you're going to be performing better as a business because you can focus on the areas that are really more important outside of this back office stuff that HDPhotoHub and ESOFT can cover for you. And at the end of the day, you're going to be in a position where your business is working a lot more smoothly. You're a lot happier in terms of managing how everything works, and your clients are happier. So your business is going to be growing faster. So it's kind of a great setup across the board. And you can see today the relationship that HDPhotoHub and ESOFT have with our clients, like we've seen Kevin talk about, is quite a good one. And I guess for all of you out there, if you want to learn more, if there's something you want to know more about, or you want to understand the onboarding process better, or more of the features that HDPhotoHub offer or that ESOFT offer, please reach out to us. Super important. Both at HDPhotoHub and ESOFT, we're happy to answer any questions you may have. We're super enthusiastic. So if there's anything that we can share or help that's going to make your business grow, let us know, because we're here to help. So thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a fantastic webinar that we've held. And thank you to all the speakers, Mikki, Kevin, Ian, you've been fantastic. You've shared some great insights. And even for people that know the industry super well, some of what you shared is helpful. Some of those little hints and tips on how to run your business, how to maximize some of the features in the platforms, super amazing. So thanks everyone. Appreciate all your effort and your comments and your insights.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been my
Thank you,
pleasure.
guys.